You're live, gentlemen.
Sweet.
Hey everyone, how's it going? We're gonna start the webinar. Let's give everyone another 3 or 4 minutes.
I mean, come on. 10 o'clock Pacific. I mean, 10:01, 10:02. We're busy agents. G, where are you?
I am in Santa Monica today.
Santa Monica. So it's probably cold and blistering and just ugly weather.
Ugly weather, and you know, it just snow and sleet. Right?
I was in Portland the last couple of days. And it was amazing up there. I could not believe how beautiful it was.
Yeah, we're looking forward to going back east for 4th of July. You know, California's great, but it's the same thing every day, right?
Yeah, it must. I feel really bad for you having an average temperature of like 73 degrees.
Exactly.
Yeah, my heart goes out from Boise, Idaho. I see a Spalding Pirate on there from Dallas, Texas. Nice. Michael Perna. Dang. Bubba. Got some ballers on here.
How many a day of these do you do, Gabe?
I wouldn't say they do them every day, but they're a handful.
Yeah.
Chatted with had a couple this morning that weren't live, but just doing some educational videos and stuff on lead conversion and best practices. So got to meet with one of our mutual clients in Portland this last week to go over a lot of the new stuff, which was awesome. So it's all good. It's never. I mean, it's always changing, right? What tools we had even 2 weeks ago are not compared to what we have this week, and it's just always being able just to make it easier and easier to use everything to get that lead conversion. So.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. That is our challenge. As soon as we make a training video, it's already outdated.
We already got Q&A coming in. Jeff Prindle. Bubba, come on! You love some Ylopo. You don't share the love with me. Come on, Bubba. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. On point. Love it.
All right. Should we
let's do it. Let's get this party started.
Okay. All right, everyone. Well, welcome to our Ylopo and Firepoint joint webinar. You know, we want to go over a lot of the new things that Gabe and I have been mutually working together on to, you know, both make our integration better and to improve both of our platforms. And so I'm going to kind of, order of this presentation is I'm going to very high level, take 5 minutes very quickly for anyone who doesn't know about Ylopo, give you the overview of the different things that we do. And then I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes or so giving you guys a quick run through of our latest and you know, what we think is one of our best releases around the Ylopo Seller Suite. And from there, I'm going to turn it over to Gabe to highlight how Ylopo leads and Ylopo plays really nicely in the sandbox with the Firepoint platform and some of the additional new things that they have just released that makes all of our Firepoint clients really happy in terms of how to sort and probably identify all of their Ylopo leads. And we'll leave plenty of time for Q&A at the end. So if you have any burning questions and I can speak to any other additional updates, about the integration, after that, we'll leave plenty of room for that. Anything else to add, Gabe?
No, I think that's it. I think let's get down and dirty and show them all these new things that you guys are doing, and then how we're helping them find that low-hanging fruit.
Awesome. Sounds great. Yep. And by the way, anyone who is not on Ylopo, we will have a link at the very end of this so that you can sign up for a demo and get a Firepoint specific discount. Gabe, is there anywhere you recommend our clients who are on here who are unfamiliar with Firepoint where they would go for a demo?
Yep, I'll do the same thing. There at the end, we'll post a link in here so they can just link right to it. Again, we want to make sure that we know they're, with Ylopo and all that, so we can give them the special deals and everything that we worked out for you guys.
Fantastic. Okay, great. So on the Ylopo side, so we think of Ylopo as a complete digital marketing solution. And what that means is when it comes to growing your business, building your brand and helping you generate and nurture your existing leads, those are the domains that we exclusively focus our energy and effort thinking about on a daily basis. And once a lead is generated, once it's ready to, be worked by one of our agents and team members, we integrate with world-class CRMs like Firepoint to do all of the magic of how you manage, optimize, and nurture that lead, to the point where they become a client, and also measure your ROI so you know how you're spending all of those dollars, right? That's why I really love the Firepoint integration. On the Ylopo side, we do a couple of core things. The first thing is we built an IDX home search website for you that is optimized for performance. What that means is, from the ground up, first off, it's mobile focused. And the second is that every piece and decision we made about the home search experience was built around how do you make it as fast as possible and as user friendly as possible with the goal of generating leads, right? And that home search experience is integrated into what we call our Ylopo branded website. So what that means is while our home search website is designed for conversion, for speed, it's very utilitarian and it has your logo and your colors, but not much else will distinguish your brand from, our home search, right? We layer that home search experience right inside a branded website built on top of the award-winning Squarespace platform that's known for design so that you can personalize that site and make it your own and do whatever you want with it, right? So, give you guys a visual example. Here is a branded website that we built out for one of our clients here in LA that runs a boutique, pretty famous boutique brokerage. You can see here from a design perspective, it's very different. And unique for their particular brand. Here is a page that we built out for the Lori Reader team in Florida. Again, very different layout, beautiful design, connects entirely to their brand. The commonality between both of these sites is that their home search widgets, as soon as I start typing in listings, now, when I click search, I'm going directly into their home search website and searching on Ylopo technology, looking for properties with a goal of turning these into actual leads, right? So that's how the IDX and the home search or branded website play nicely together. Ylopo, we are known for state-of-the-art lead generation, starting with social, so Facebook and Instagram. We apply dynamic ad technology to bring real listing content directly into the Facebook and Instagram newsfeed and story formats. I'll show you more about what that looks like in a second. And, we help you get more listings, promote your listings, keep your sellers happy, and sell your homes faster through a product called Listing Rocket. We help you nurture your lead database. I'm going to talk a lot about this from a seller perspective in a second here, but that is also something that we are very well known for. If you have a database of 3, 5, 10,000 plus leads in your system that you've already invested tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on, we can help you revive those leads and actually work them for you through artificial intelligence. So that is a core part of our suite, and all of those things are, of course, integrated really, really well, really tightly into our CRM partners like Firepoint. And I would say, with those integrations, what's great is with our best partners, we're improving those integrations all the time based on user feedback, based on your guys' feedback. So,
and hey, G, I'm going to chime in on that previous screen you were just on too, just because we get this a lot from our clients coming over that are new to you. So if you're listening to this and maybe not terribly familiar, what G and his team are doing on that remarketing and retargeting, when he's saying, if you already have 8, 9, 10, I mean, we had almost 30,000 in our database. Guys, this is pennies on the dollar compared to what you spent to generate those leads to keep them going. So don't lose sight of just the lead generation part, but what he went over there is the leads you already have, what they can do to revive them, and we'll show you later. Like, this is insane. It's just incredible.
100%. Yeah. And it's about to get even better because of the seller suite, because of all of the magic we can do on the seller side. So, I'm going to now go to PowerPoint deck, just so we can go through some of these faster. And let me go into presenter view here so I can show you the whole screen. All right. So the Ylopo Seller Suite that we just launched, first and foremost, just so all of you know, is instead of charging an additional price for all of our clients, it is already built into our Ylopo costs, right? So effectively, you're getting this entire suite for free. There are some small limitations that we can talk about at certain levels of our product, just because seller leads are obviously a lot more expensive to generate than buyer leads. By and large, 95% of our clients can access most, if not all, of our seller suite features as part of our core product now. So we're really excited and happy to talk about that. So when we think about sellers here at Ylopo, we think about them in 3 stages. The first is, let's start with the lowest hanging fruit, which is we want to help you win more of the listing appointments you're already going on, right? And so we have a product called Listing Rocket, where one touch, you automatically can get one of your listings created into, half a dozen Facebook ads that are designed to, at various stages of that home's life cycle, run different ads. So if you have a new home on the market, we run a new home for sale. As soon as you tell the MLS you have an open house, our open house ad runs. If you have a price reduction, our price reduction ad runs. All of that in a fully automated fashion. And at the end of that process, as you're advertising those listings, one click, we can generate a report that you can show to your seller. That is an infographic style report that lays out all of the things that you've been doing marketing that particular property. And that's also, by the way, something you can use within our seller report to win more listings, because as soon as you start running Listing Rocket ads, the next time you go into a listing presentation, all you have to do is give us the address of that property and some information about that property. And we're going to actually pull up a live view of a similar ad you ran for another listing to show this seller exactly how you would go about marketing their home. And we will also show them how many buyers you have in your database that are actively looking for a similar property that you can call right away as soon as you win that listing. So those tools already exist in our system, have been there for a while, and they're really exciting tools to help you win more listings. Now, the new Ylopo Seller Suite releases deals with 2 other areas. The first is re-engaging your existing seller database. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And then, of course, generating new seller leads. So the first major improvement to our, to the seller suite is that we have now ingested all of the sold data throughout the entire country from all the MLSs that we have access to, and we have dropped it into the Ylopo ecosystem. I don't have to tell Gabe how difficult it is to work with hundreds of MLSs to organize their data. And then when it comes to sold data, where it's completely unstructured, it is even more of a hassle. And so this is a big undertaking under the hood that powers this entire suite. And so when you go into our Ylopo Home Search website, if you click on sold properties now, you will be able to see and sort all of the sold properties in your area and see all of the rich detail available about all of those properties.
It's incredible. It is so incredible.
Oh man, yeah. And what's great about this is you live in a non-disclosure state, right, Gabe?
Yep.
Oh, cool. So this is one of the biggest challenges with creating a sold product, a seller product, right? When you use sold data as the heart of the technology, there are a number of states that are non-disclosure, right? And so, when that happens, it usually is a roadblock for us to say, okay, well, we just can't do anything for those states. I'm going to show you exactly how we designed this product to kind of make sure that this works for everyone, right? So for people who are in non-disclosure states, unfortunately, we will not be able to show sold properties, on the site directly, but don't worry, we have a solution in place that is just as good. Now that we have sold properties in our database, how are we going to help you generate more sellers from your existing leads, right? Well, the first insight that we figured out is, let's take a client who has an average database size of 10,000. What we learned from our clients is that while you have a database of 10,000 leads, you probably only know less than 10% of those leads are actual homeowners, right? Those are your past sellers. Those are any home valuation leads you've generated and other lead sources that provide you an actual address associated with a lead. Now, why is that? It's because a seller lead is probably 5 to 10 times more expensive than a buyer lead and more rare, right? So you just have less of those opportunities. And database management and cleanliness is not exactly what realtors are known for, right? So, for the 1,000 leads that you have that are homeowners, fantastic. We are going to be able to market to those people in a very precise rate through email and remarketing. That's great. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. But the vast majority of the opportunity in your database are going to be for the 9,000 leads that you do not know at all if they own a home or not, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to take those 9,000 leads that are in your database. We're going to match it up to third-party data providers as well as Facebook to help you identify and target homeowners in your database. How are we going to do that? For the first time ever, because we are able to bring sold listings in a standard way directly into our home search website, we are also able to take those sold listings and bring them into the Facebook environment to start showing live comps directly to your homeowners as properties are sold in a Facebook ad environment, right? And so for someone who is a homeowner database living, for instance, in Santa Monica in Los Angeles, right? We are able to target homeowners. You don't have to tell us, that they're a homeowner in your database. Facebook and third parties are going to tell us that. We're going to then start showing them an ad that has recently sold properties that directly impact their home price, right? This has never been done before on Facebook. It really is absolutely nuts. And what we're seeing on our side is that the cost per engagement of these ads is less than 50 cents. So,
I mean, what people I don't know, if you guys aren't used to doing seller lead generation, I mean, take it from a guy, team lead that was doing, but still doing radio, television, radio shows. Guys, that is incredible how they can find this data and help you identify these people at this cost. I mean, everybody wants more listings. Every listing generates more buyer leads. Like that is incredible. If you guys have not been spending money on lead generation, I mean, come on.
Exactly. I mean, everyone is obsessed with new leads, right? But I mean, a new lead is going to cost you minimum $15, $20 on the seller side, and most of the time somewhere above $100, right? But with all the relationships you've already built with leads that you purchased and leads in your database, wouldn't it be a shame? And I'm sure there's a high percentage of those people, right, who list with someone else because they didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and what you're saying too, though, and maybe make sure I'm hearing it correctly, so again, running teams and building a database for the last, 15, 16 years, what most of us have done is these are mostly buyer leads, right? We're on PPC, we're on Facebook. Are you looking for homes in this area, that area? You're taking those existing buyer leads and with the third-party data, identifying if they own a home or where their home is, and then showing them homes for sale. So you're taking buyer leads and helping identify the ones that are sellers.
Exactly right.
For 50 cents.
Yeah, 50 cents. Yeah. I mean, I think, best way to think about it is 65% plus of home or buyers need to sell before they buy, right? And so these folks that you thought were buyer leads are, for the most part, sellers. But the problem is, what do you market to them if you didn't know they were a homeowner, right? Now with Facebook and with all these third-party data, because they know where this person actually lives, we can now run a targeted ad to that individual with your branding on it, with comps, directly on Facebook. So it's incredibly powerful.
Yep.
You know, and so when a consumer actually clicks on one of those experiences or one of those ads, we actually then built out an entire lead experience specifically designed to highlight what is different about you versus the competition, right? I think this is one of the, you know, I don't want to say flaws, but just the tropes of, you know, marketing to sellers, that you show them, oh, here's a home valuation, typically from Zestimates, right? Here's 3 other home valuations, and we're going to send you something personalized. And it's like, well, all of the data you just gave this person, they could get literally anywhere, right? So why would they, you know, wait for you to work with them? I mean, the only reason is either convenience or their lack of knowledge, right? But what we want to do is we want to enable you with features that, you know, that and give data to sellers that no one else on the market is going to have, right? So when a consumer clicks on your seller advertisement, they're going to come into a seller experience that looks like this. This is actually live, right? First thing we're going to do is we're going to give them a live snapshot of the market in a 1-number summary. We get all of our market trends data from Alto's research. And if you ever, which is the gold standard in the industry for market trends data, if you work with Alto's directly, you're already paying them a couple $100s for a license, right? We license all of that for you. So we give them a quick snapshot. But what you have, no one else is going to have, is actual buyers who are going to be interested in their home, right? And so these are all examples here that are pulling directly from your database of people who are looking for properties in this particular zip code in that price point, right? And actually, we're a very lucky day today. Look at that, 888, extremely lucky in Chinese culture. So, you know, I think Tristan's going to get a seller today.
Nice.
The main call to action here on our main section is help me schedule a private showing with buyers, right? So it's highly differentiated from what anyone else is doing. As you scroll down the page, you're going to have some additional calls to action, market trends that this consumer can look at, and then, of course, active homes and recently sold homes that directly impacted home price, right? So this whole experience is tied into all of our ads so that it pays off the dynamic nature of the ads with, you know, basically in a snapshot, both data that is just provided by you and also market trends that gives them an insight into the industry.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Incredible.
And sorry, I need to go back to
There's somewhere.
my PowerPoint here. This is what happens when you do full screen share. Here we go. Sorry about that, everyone. Okay. Oh. Okay, awesome. So that's what the seller experience looks like. Now, the great thing, and you know, Gabe is going to show you this when we go into the Firepoint section about our platform and how we work with Firepoint is, you know, when a seller comes back, you don't have to just stare at your your Firepoint or your CRM dashboard all the time thinking, oh, I don't want to miss that opportunity of when the seller came back and looked at something. So I need to, you know, stay alert on everything that's going on in my CRM, right? Ylopo is going to analyze the behavior of what the consumer is doing. And if they are doing something that's significant, we're going to alert you, right? And that's what we call our priority lead alert system. So we have 5 different alerts that we're scanning through when the consumer comes onto our seller experience that will tell us, hey, this is someone that you should reach out to. And when that happens, we're going to email, text, and drop a CRM note right into Firepoint so you know that this is engaging, this is happening. This is actually a note from Nick Baldwin, co-founder of Lab Code Agents. I turned this on from the day before the webinar last week about the seller suite to our community, and he literally just got blown up with notifications for sellers that were coming back and engaging. And I suspect that's what's going to happen too when we mass import all of our client sellers into the database. So you're going to get alerted. And you know what, even going above and beyond that one level is if we send you a priority notification for a seller and you don't respond, right, because you're busy, because you missed it, because they're, you know, especially with our clients who have huge databases, they may have gotten 30 priority notifications that day for various leads. If you don't respond within 6 to 8 hours later, we're going to automatically go ahead and text that seller on your behalf with a text message that positions itself as your assistant, the assigned agent's assistant, and also relevant to the priority trigger that they hit, right? And so it's going to be targeted message, perhaps even better than a message that you would have time to craft yourself, frankly. And it's going to go out to the consumer. And if the consumer replies, then our artificial intelligence technology, what we're calling Rhea, will actually engage with that lead, have an entire conversation with that person, and attempt to qualify that person into having an appointment with you. And of course, all of this information is getting email, texted, and sent to Firepoint, so you have a clear record of everything that's going on.
And that texting, G, I mean, it is slick. Seeing a lot of AI texting and working with chat bots and all that stuff, and we'll show a couple examples, but I mean, it is sick. I've like watched, it's not just one or two, like full-on conversations happen. It is incredible.
Yeah. It's I really think that it, combined with the intelligence of our system, the AI combined with the intelligence of the system, is just kind of the next level of where we're going to, the future of real estate lead gen really in the next year or two. So the last part I wanted to highlight to you guys is our seller, listing alerts, right? So, with our seller alerts, so first and foremost, let me kind of set the stage here. So, we discussed releasing a seller suite as a beta to our clients literally last June was when we announced it at the last Ylopo Summit, right? I had 30 to 50 clients testing out the Ylopo beta. It has been a year now since then, and I'm still talking about the seller suite. Why? Because within that year, we probably changed everything we were doing around 4 or 5 times, which, as Gabe knows, with engineering cycles, that's a crazy amount of work to get to where we are, right? And one of the biggest innovations that we made was on our seller listing alerts. Now, the traditional challenge of seller listing alerts is that when you're sending people only market trends data, right? We all know market snapshot and all that kind of data, right? That is a typical in the industry. The problem is that data doesn't change a lot, right? And email platforms like Gmail have gotten so smart about what is spam or updates and all that kind of stuff that if they see a pattern of the same thing getting sent week to week, month to month, they're going to just either, mark it as spam, or they're going to put it into that dreaded updates folder, right? No one's going to see it then. And so one of the things that we had to think carefully about was, how do we send an email to consumers, to sellers, on a weekly basis, if possible, that is going to basically pass all of those filters and actually inbox into our clients' platforms, right? Mailing platforms. So when we send out a seller alert to someone, at the very top, we're going to have some market trends data that's very light, right? But right underneath that, we're going to start showing the homeowner homes that impact their value, right? We're going to show them recently sold properties, under contract properties, and active listings. And then each of these, of course, are going to lead directly into that particular listing in your seller experience, right? Now, this is understated, but pretty incredible from a performance perspective. The reason for that is because if we're talking about a very small zip code, or you're doing a price constraint around that particular property, it is very likely that week to week, you're not going to have a property that's sold, right? And so if there's no sold properties for that particular week, we will show them under contract properties. If there are no under contract properties, we're going to show them active listings that impact their home price. But no matter what, the alert that we're sending out is always going to have some dynamic piece of data related to photos and listings that make sure that actually inboxes the consumer, right? So, traditionally a market snapshot or a seller alert will only let you do alerts on a monthly basis, because they know not enough changes here to be able to engage the seller on a weekly basis. With this alert, you can shorten that cycle. And we all know more engagement, more top of mind means that you're going to get more at-bats in front of sellers, right? So, so that's kind of the core innovation behind the seller alert. And back to the non-disclosure states, right? What's great about this platform is because we are using the recently sold under contract active listings, for anyone who's in non-disclosure, we can still show all of the stats about your particular market, and we will default immediately to under contract and active properties that impact your home value. So the alerts from what we've seen on the data side so far works just as well. And for all of our dynamic ads, we will just use stock photos of interiors that are relevant to your particular market, right? That looks like your properties in your market. And we've also seen that that performs about just as well, right? So this solution makes it so that anyone in really anywhere in the country, in the US and Canada, can leverage this entire suite.
That's awesome.
Whew, wow, that was a lot.
You did that. Fast.
I did that fast, yeah. So at this point, you've seen what the Ylopo experience. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry, Gabe. I need to actually show them one more thing.
You're good. Go.
Seller lead gen, right? And then after that, I'm going to turn it back over to you. So what I've just shown you so far is the experience of remarketing to your existing lead database. The last part, I'm sure everyone still loves it, new seller lead gen, right? So on the new seller lead gen side, like Gabe said, anyone who has done seller lead gen forever, right? What their usual call to action is what's my home worth, right? We have done an analysis on every ad that is popular for what's my home worth from every other platform. And what we're seeing is on Facebook, you're getting a click-through rate of under 1%, which is basically, you know, the ad's not going to run over time, right? That's lower than an average ad on Facebook. So when we use just sold comps in the ad, we are seeing a 3% click-through rate, which would be ranked as a good ad on Facebook, right? But when we start actually targeting homeowners and telling them that they have equity in their home that they can turn into either buying a new property or, you know, pull that equity out, right, for themselves to upgrade their home, we're seeing a 4.3% click-through rate, which is, you know, about as good as it gets on Facebook, right? And so when consumer clicks on one of these ads, not only do we verify that they are a homeowner, that they own their home, but we ask a very important question from them. If finances were not an issue, would you prefer to stay in your current home, pull money out, or sell my home and find a new one, right? Now, again, a lot of you people are either Ylopo clients already or, do your own lead generation, right? And so whether or not you decide to use the Ylopo platform, the Firepoint platform, if you're doing seller lead generation on your own, this is something that I highly recommend for everyone, right? Why? Because what we found is that about 40% of homeowners who respond to one of our ads actually say that if finances were not an issue, they would rather stay in their current home and pull money out versus selling. Why is it important to identify those particular homeowners, right? The reason is because traditionally when you do seller advertising, it's very hard to get a lender to contribute to that marketing because what are they getting out of it, right? But if they knew that 40% of the leads you were generating actually were potentially home equity loans candidates, HELOC candidates, etc., which are extremely valuable leads for them, right? They all of a sudden become very, very interested, right? So this is a great way for you to parse out who are legitimate homeowners, who are of those homeowners who are actually interested in selling, and who actually needs to have a mortgage or lending conversation. And in the future, I'm sure they're going to get back to you as well, right? So, so our platform is able to generate new seller leads as well as remarket to your existing seller base database. Of course, seller leads are a lot more expensive than buyers. What we're seeing is about $15, $20 CPLs, which is still relatively cheap, right? For
wait, how much did you say?
$15 to $20.
For seller leads. That's crazy.
That's still crazy, right? I mean, that's compared to a buyer lead, which is about $5 or $6, right?
Right, but still, I mean, that's nuts. And then on this too, what's key about what you guys are doing and all these questions and stuff that you're asking, I mean, as team leads and agents, we know we have scripts and things that we should be asking and following to ask these questions to qualify and know where to take the conversation, but we forget all the time. The agents don't get it. You get on a roll, you get distracted, whatever it is. All this is coming over and you're transferring a lot of this information into the CRM. So the agent has it at their fingertips. And guys, now it's just literally just following what's already been gathered for you and having a conversation. It's allowing you to focus on the service, not so much the sale.
100%. All right. Well, Gabe, that was it. I'd love to see the Firepoint.
Yeah. So, all right, I'll share it. So I mean, and truly what you guys are doing is incredible, guys. And now what we need to be able to do is follow up with it and see what's happening, right? So everything that they're doing is coming over, you know, to the CRM. Can you see the screen now? I think I'm on the dashboard here. Perfect. So I'm just going to go into a live account that you guys are working with. I don't want to go through and do a whole demo of Firepoint, but obviously you can come in onto your dashboard right off the bat. Everything that's happening on Ylopo, when they're logging on, how many properties they're viewing, all of that stuff is transferring over to Firepoint. So you're working out of, for the most part, one back end, seeing everything that's happening. And what I want to show are a couple things that are coming in. So as far as leads, you guys are doing, obviously we talked about lead generation. This office has not started on the seller lead generation with you guys. That's new. But you guys are bringing in leads. So whenever you guys create a lead, they're obviously coming to a page. We do full lead distribution for you guys. So if leads are coming in and you want to send them to specific zip codes, or you want to send them to certain agents, whether, in fact, I'll just even show you that really quick. Because it's all about lead distribution. You guys are generating it, then we need to make sure that we're distributing it correctly, right? So when you guys come in onto lead distribution, we're giving you complete control over how you guys are going to do that. And what everybody knows, but they're not doing is speed to lead. We need to make sure that we're reaching out to these contacts as soon as all this remarketing, whatever is getting put in front of them from Ylopo, and they're engaging. Your team has got to be responding immediately. So whatever you guys want to do, you can create your own rules. So let's just say it's Ylopo buyers or sellers, whatever it is. You can kind of come in, choose Ylopo and say, all right, now we've got some decisions to make. Do we want to route it by days, times? Do we want to route it by price? Or do we just want to give it to everybody? And I think what the most common is, G, and what people are doing, has been around forever, is, hey, we want to be round robin. We're going to give it, you know, to these agents, and they're each going to get a turn, which is fine. You can go to Alina, Austin, Carrie, and then Heather. We do give you an extra step where you can now say, hey, that lead isn't responded to, though, within 5 minutes or 3 minutes, whatever it is. We want you to take it away and give it to the next person, because we want to ensure that speed to lead. But what I recommend, guys, is when those leads are coming in, if they're on social media, they're on wherever they're at, and they're coming in, is we want to make sure you guys are getting to them fast, because it's one thing for G and his team to bubble them up and get them to raise their hand, but you guys have got to be able to get in front of them. So now I can just say, hey, come in here, throw them into a pond. We'll throw them into our Ylopo engaged pond. Now what it's going to do is when that lead comes in, it'll hit everybody at the same time. They all get a text message. The first person to grab it can go. So it's all about getting the lead from Ylopo and then distributing it, so now it's in the system. So what's great, what we were talking about, is you can see all the leads coming in. I want to kind of show you some of the stuff that G was just talking about. So this is on this lead profile that came in. Becky Johnson, we can see that she came in at night, and then it instantly comes over. Anything that says Ylopo here is the stuff that's happening on the Ylopo front end website. It says, hey, this is a high priority notification. She viewed this property 3 times. Yeah. All right, what's awesome now is because the agents are in Firepoint, they're working out of one place. I can see that Scott reached out that night, right? We're all about speed to lead. Here's somebody who's not afraid to call at night. Lead came in at 9:29 p.m., called at 9:35 p.m. local time. Looks like he called. If I wanted to listen to that call, I can just hit play and listen to it. I can tell by 8 seconds, though, he did not leave a voicemail, which I'm a huge fan of if anybody's seen me speak or talk about lead conversion. And within 1 minute, he hung up and called right back. Again, I'm a big fan of the double dial, call, don't leave a voicemail. Then he sent a text, right? It's all about staying on it. This all happened within just 2 minutes. Call, hang up, call, hang up. Gee, I think you've probably seen me talk about this. And I know people are like, man, I don't know about that call, hang up, and send a text. This is a real account. And then look what happened. 9:36 p.m. Who is this? Guys, it happens all the time. Hey, Becky, this is Scott. I'm not going to go through his whole script, but they text back and forth a little bit. But what we're going to get to is now the AI kicked in the next day, right? This is huge what Ylopo's doing. Again, it's coming from the assistant. Hey, Becky, this core group search team's assistant. We've been putting some listings on Facebook recently. Looks like 1 or 2 may have caught your eye. That's because G and his team are understanding that they either clicked on something 3 times or saved a favorite. They know what's going on, so they send this text, and I love the call to action. You guys are asking questions, right? Agents sometimes forget to ask a question at the end to really initiate that response back, and it's all about getting engagement to get conversion. So you guys ask a couple questions. I want to know what you thought of the homes you saw, and is anything good or bad, and is this a good email? And again, this comes in. You guys sent this. We log it so the agent or the team knows that Ylopo sent this text. Well, when they respond, Ylopo sends this over to us. We log it right on the lead profile and notify the assigned agent or the assigned agents. And we give the original message. So you don't have to go looking for it, saying, hey, we sent Becky this text, which is the one below. And she replied, yes, this is a good email. Nothing yet, but we will keep looking. Fantastic. Here we go. We're putting together some listings, get those to you soon, because you guys responded to it. So you guys understood what she said, sent her another message. All right, we're putting together some listings for you now. We'll get these sent to you soon. Are you considering the move within the next year or so? Because it said they were looking. She responds, yes. Like, you guys carry on a conversation back and forth, all the way to the point where you get the lead to respond. She's looking for 1.5. Now, what I want to point out here, guys, sorry, I get excited about this, G, is there's text conversation going on with the agent. Not yet, we'll let you know. It's kind of a roadblock, right? We're not really looking or doing anything yet, but we'll let you know. What I see a lot of times is the agents give up here. There's a little bit of a roadblock. Well, I can already see that agent didn't keep going with this. The next morning, the AI kicks in, just with a few more questions, gets this response, right. Oh, I went too far. Man, they keep having a conversation. Oh, right here, replied 1.5 to 5 acres, bare land within 50 minutes, commute to Boise, preferably Marsing, Wilder, Homedale, Caldwell, no CCNRs or HOA. Like, these are all buying signals that we probably wouldn't have gotten from this agent. G's smiling from ear to ear because he's like, oh my gosh, this is my baby working.
So good. Well, this is, a lot of agents ask me, well, should I just let the assistant work? Should I text the lead? Should I turn off all my drips in Firepoint? And my advice is, and this is case in point of exactly why you should still do outreach, but you should still let the AI work as well, right? Because at the end of the day, you're trying to build a relationship with this person, right? And if they realize, hey, there's a team of people that are working with my account, why is that a bad thing? In addition to that, I think what's great about AI is consistency, right? Like, there's no emotions involved, and so they're always going to ask the next question, and it's going to always go down this line. And guess what? If they ever go too far, right, you can always message back and say, hey, really sorry, my assistant was a little bit overzealous, and it's because we want to provide the best service to you. And you have cover for the entire thing, right?
Well, we've made it easy, right? Every time you send those, every time you guys send a text or they reply, it's getting logged right here within Firepoint. And we're giving you one click, and I don't want to click this because, again, this is a real lead. One click, guys, it opens up a browser and you turn off the AI text so you can take it over. So we've made it very easy. You see the entire conversation. You can look at them in Ylopo if you need to, but there's no point, right? We're carrying everything over. G and his team send everything over. So at any point, I can just click on the searching tab and I can click on the properties and see what they're looking at. Right, so they're looking at 2 different websites. I can see they're visiting the Firepoint site 17 times. They visit the Ylopo site 5 times. I can literally see every time they're coming in. So on this day, on May 10th, they looked at one property on this website and a different property on this website. Everything is brought over into one spot so you can see everything that's going on within the back end. I mean, I can just literally see all the text messages. You can see where the agent took back over this conversation and went from here. So literally everything is in one spot coming in. So that's easy because we're notifying, right? So when somebody responds to a text, it's getting notified to the agent. But you guys do so much other stuff that agents need an easy way to find it. And I know when we started with UG, we could filter by a tag. You guys would throw this Y priority tag on the leads. And that was great, but it was just showing me leads that had engaged. But most CRMs have a default filter where they're probably putting it by the creation date or something. It wasn't telling me, hey, who are the most recent people who have engaged in the last few minutes? I want to work backwards because, again, I know time is of the essence. So one of the things I'm really excited about, I worked with a couple of your clients, Livia and Sarah, who I think also is with Firepoint, and we created these 2 sort options. We wanted to make sure that the Firepoint users, agents, team leads can quickly identify where are those priority alerts coming in. So just by clicking on that priority alert, it's now refiltered this. And the top lead here is going to be the most recent person who's done something, and it's just within the, so I can now click and start toggling through. So I know the most recent engagement is this Deanne, 17 days of being silent, just started shopping, right? I can see no agent's done anything because there's nothing on top of it. I can see this one came in. You gave us, send us 2 reports or two activities, right? She came back after 14 days of being quiet, and now she's logged in 3 days in a row. So I can quickly see right now, this was on the 28th and the 13th. These are 2 alerts, whoops, didn't mean to zoom in there, that I'm probably going to ping my agent, right? So right now I can see this is assigned, I think, to, is it Alicia? Yep, Alicia. As a team lead, I can see you guys have bubbled this up and nothing has happened. I can just literally go at Alicia, please reach out ASAP. Add this lead in here, and she's been notified to quickly look at this lead and see what's going on. So it's just a quick way to find that low-hanging fruit in the database. I mean, just that fast, I can see you guys sent these in, and I can see Scott called and had a conversation because those call recordings are coming right into the system. So it's one thing to create all the engagements and opportunities, but if you don't have a quick way to identify them and start looking for them, it's not going to matter, right?
Hey, Gabe, quick question on this. So when you sort by the priority notifications, does the activity last 7 days? Does that matter, or is the sort?
No, the sort, yeah, great question. So we got 2, right? We broke these out. So this Ylopo engagement, this is kind of more the, hey, they just visited the site. It's kind of that not so urgent, but we want to let you know. So you can kind of scroll in. Oh, it's just re-engaged, right? Doesn't mean they actually looked at any properties or anything. So it's just that letting you know, hey, this is some of the engagement, but they're not really the priorities. So then we created this, the Ylopo priority. This is more viewed a property multiple times. It responded to an AI text, responded. So the 7 days, we also want to know, you probably see this on your site. Somebody logs into the site for the first time. They get excited. They might start clicking on $2, $3, $4 million homes. And then they really get to what they're looking at. They're 3 or they're 4 or whatever. And a lot of times these price ranges don't matter. Or they were really active 2 months ago, but they haven't been very active. So this is just going to change these. So this is just telling me in the last 7 days, they've logged on 3 times, saved 1 favorite, and their median price is here. Yeah. So if I change this 30 days, the longer I can see who's been more active in a longer time frame. So it's just changing their activity, but may not change the order, because right now it's not going to change this order, because I already said, hey, organize it by the most re-engagement, but it'll tell me if they've done more activity in that time frame.
Got it. Right? So it gives them a snapshot of the data within that time frame.
Absolutely. Right. We can even drill it down to, hey, now just show me the last inquiries, because you guys get inquiries on your website as well. So this is going to do it for us, any inquiries from any property. Right. So I can quickly look, and if I start looking at priorities, or inquiries, they had a showing request on something, and I can just quickly look at all the activity and see what was it on. And again, the first thing as a team lead I'm looking for is when something came in, did the agent log it? Because if the agent logged it after this, Ylopo would have their picture. And you can see on this one, the sales manager's already thrown a training tag on this. I know that they've missed an opportunity here, right? Something happened, so we can now quickly pull these up and we see, hey, you know what? As a team lead, I'm paying for Ylopo to do all this. We're teeing it up and we're finding it easy for you with Firepoint, how to identify it, but you still have to kind of come in and now just be the agent, right? It's almost like, on top of paying for the CRM, on top of the, the lead distribution, we're now paying for this re-engagement, and then you guys have this almost like built-in ISA in the system. We can see what's going on.
Yeah, that's I love that trading tag. I'm going to start telling all my clients to use it.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, and again, I can literally start looking through here and like listening to this, and I know what this one is now. It was just the conversation, like they said something, and so we can play this call now and say, hey, they teed up so much. Like this was, I don't think I can play the audio, but the AI text, this is like a perfect combination of Ylopo and Firepoint. So this lead came in, you guys generated it, agent call, before the agent calls, right? So the oldest is at the bottom. So May 11th, it comes in the afternoon. I can see the agent claimed it, right? Because it was speed to lead. So she was the first one to get it. She came in on this property. The AI sent, my timeline is way out. I'm just watching some markets prior to retirement. You captured a vital piece of information right here, right? They're waiting for retirement. So when I listened to this call, she didn't even, it was a great opportunity to reach out. Hey, Kayla, Gabe Cordova here, Core Group EXP. Want to reach out? You're on the website. It looks like you might be coming once you retire. Congratulations. Tell me more about that. Right? It's instant because she's already been texting with my assistant, but they just kind of went into the same ho-hum. Oh, I want to see how the home search is going, right? Missed a complete opportunity. So because you guys are giving us all that visibility, because we can listen to the phone calls, as a team leader, as an agent, I can now start changing not just what I'm saying, but how I'm saying it. It's an incredible 1-2 punch. There's so much freaking visibility into what the leads are doing, what they're saying, how they're engaging. So the agents can literally just focus on the service, not the sale.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. I love it.
So, I mean, everything's coming in. I mean, again, I think I posted a link in there for you guys. I mean, this is just a brief part of this, but literally everything in these is in here, guys. So when the texting, everything happens, I can literally go into texting, see all conversations, all my texting can be sent in here, the drip campaigns, the text campaigns, the mass texting, everything. Oh, actually, you know what I want to show you, because you guys are doing the seller suite that I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
So this is going to be huge, guys. Not only, so G is and his team are putting all this properties, all this information in front of these people, and they track every property they click on. What's incredible is once they tee up these sellers for you, you guys can now go into the system, come in and find that information. So now if you're on a listing appointment and they've got you a listing, and you know that they're looking in the Boise and let's say in the Meridian area, and you're going to meet with them and they're in the price range, let's just say 300 to 400,000. What's great is because all that activity on the website's getting sent over, when you meet with them, I can now tell my sellers, hey, because you're selling in the Boise Meridian area, you know, and your price is going to be somewhere in that $300,000 to $400,000 price range. What's great is because you're hiring me as a marketing agent, as a technology company, right now, just so you know, I have 997 active buyers looking in that area, in that price range. You know what, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I just want to find out too, how active are they? Because again, we push everything out on the internet, so there's tons of exposure. And so good news is, look at this. Less than a minute ago, 3 hours ago, 6 hours ago, 11 hours ago, 15 hours ago, if I scroll down, at least, you know, 50, 60 people, and they're all within the last couple of days, there's a lot of activity on a property just like yours. Guys, all that information that Ylopo is sending over and all the property clicks, leverage that on these seller leads that they're also sending over, because all of it is tracked in your CRM, so you can quickly pull it up. Or maybe you just listed a home now in this. I know you guys have the listing rocket, but you can also now find people in your database. Hey, who in this area, in this price range? I can now find out all these people, come down and quickly select them, and then send them a mass email or a mass text with a picture or a link to that property, letting them know it came on the market, which is engaging them again. So it's just really the power of tying the two systems together to be able to do everything in one spot.
Yeah, and this is a point I want to emphasize. I mean, this is so, you know, as an example of both how quickly we both iterate together, which is why I love working with Gabe's team, but also the advantage of having a deep integration. You know, last week on Thursday, Gabe, you know, texted me and said, hey, I have a client that switched from, you know, Follow Up Boss to Firepoint, and I'm doing training for them. And yes, all of the leads were moved from one CRM to the other CRM, but, you know, obviously Ylopo has search history for years now on all of those leads. Can we get all of that search history into Firepoint, right? And within literally like half a day, got it done. And so, you know, for clients, I see Jeff Prindo on the platform, for instance. This is something that you will likely see in the next, definitely this week, because obviously it's a lot of data. But we're now going through back in history and pushing in every viewed listing for every one of your leads into Firepoint, right? If you move from, you know, another CRM like Commissions Inc. to Follow Up Boss, you know, or any other CRM to CRM integration, guarantee you that history is not going to be there, right? That's just not expected, you know, but because we can work together, it makes this feature more powerful. And, you know, frankly, you know, what Gabe just showed you here, in my opinion, is you know, honestly, one of the only good ways to use mass texting, right? Because mass texting is very dangerous. You know, there's a lot of legal issues with texting people you don't have TCPA compliance on. And it's one of the things that, you know, frankly, agents should be the most scared of, you know, out there right now. There are a lot of lawyers just looking to come after you.
And the last thing you want to do is mass text somebody that's not relevant to them, right? Yeah. Like that's when they're going to get frustrated.
Cleaning article, like who cares? You know, you have liability for yourself for no reason. But if you have a property that's coming soon, you know, a property that you need, these people will be interested in, to be able to sort down to this list with both Ylopo and Firepoint data and send a mass, you know, text. Incredibly powerful.
Yeah, and you can drill this down to neighborhood or zip code. It doesn't have to be as broad as searches. Like I keep it a little bit more broad, guys, when I'm talking to sellers, because you want to show them the power that's in there. And a great script on that is when you're showing this is like, I'm sure you're interviewing other agents. Have those agents shown you their list of active and hot buyers that match your property? course, they're going to say no because nobody's doing it, because most people don't even have the data. So instantly, you're already going to stand out from the competition. But you can drill this down even further. I mean, take it a step further than that. Once you guys are using Listing Rocket and you're pushing that listing out, and you're getting all these people re-engaged, clicking on those ads that G's sending, right? And all that data is coming back. Now, if you want to follow up with your seller, hey, if G's my seller, instead of doing this, I'm just going to type in the MLS number, get search results for everybody that's clicked on that home. So I can say, hey, G, I've had 900 different people click on your home. We don't have an offer yet. We might want to talk about a price change or whatever it is. Just showing what you're doing, because sellers, they always want to know, what are you doing to market my property? If you can literally show them now, in the last 7 days, I've had 900 people click on it or whatever it is, you're now showing what you're doing, and you have information for price adjustments or whatever you need. You guys have got to leverage the data. There's so much data that's being collected from Ylopo and Firepoint, and we've made it super easy for you to pull it up and just show them what's going on and share that data with them to either get the listing or retain it, the price drops, or find a buyer for it. Use it from all angles.
Exactly. Well, we've got 4 minutes left on the webinar. As usual, yes. You and I went long, unexpected. So I want to, if anyone else has any questions, just chat or QA, post in QA. Jeff Prindo asked the question about auto import. When is that happening? That is where we automatically extract all the leads from Firepoint into our Ylopo ecosystem for you without you having to do anything. So everything that Firepoint needs to do for us to get that done is 100% done. It's just on Ylopo right now, and it is the next integration thing we are doing on the Firepoint side. In terms of timeline, I would say, right now, the next thing we're tackling, like literally this week, is instant listing alerts, feature that everyone has asked for. But, now that we have all of our data stuff with the sold stuff ready, we're going to tackle that first. Once that's done, we're going to work on the auto import feature, right? So for now, if you have leads in your database that you want us to remarket to, that we aren't doing so already, just export them, shoot us a quick email, we'll import them for you, and so that you're current.
Yep, absolutely. And I think, Bubba, I might have answered your question already, but if I haven't, ask again. So yeah, all that information that Ylopo is gathering, how many times they viewed a property, how many days in a row they've logged in, all of that is tracked in Firepoint. You don't have to leave and go to stars. Really, the only thing that you ever have to do that I'm aware of, G, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that one, if you want to opt the lead out of those behavioral texts, I mean, that's really the one click. It's already in the system. It pops up, you turn it off, and you're done. But again, I want to caution people on turning that off too soon. It is incredible. I mean, there have been a couple instances, and I know you guys are always learning and changing, and we all are, right? It's new technology. It's phenomenal. But guys, I was working with a team in Portland on Friday. I promise you, you're going to lose more business by turning that texting off too soon than you will ever lose by leaving it on. All right, you need to trust the technology a little bit. And if you're an agent listening to this or a team lead, guys, as agents, we get busy. You never know when this is going to ring and you're going to have an appointment come up, and you have the best of intentions to follow up or respond. And the way they've done this and the way it ties into Firepoint, guys, it's having those conversations. I just literally showed you a live one just from yesterday, or was it this morning, that got more information than the agent was able to. So, it's all in the system. You just have to let the systems work for you and just be yourself. Be the agent, be available, respond, and provide service, and let the technologies work together to get you all the data.
100%.
Any other questions in there? Did we answer everybody? So I did post a link in there too, G. There's a link in the Firepoint if you guys are wanting to learn more about it. How can we get all the information out of a current CRM if you already have it, or how do we get it all out of your Excel sheets if that's where it's at? You can click on the link. There is special pricing for Ylopo coming over and all that. So you can reach out to them and they can answer your questions, because everybody runs their team different and has different questions out of their technology. So, so click on that and they can answer any of your questions for you.
Yep. Both our links are in here, or shoot an email over to sales@ylopo.com. I'm sure sales@firepoint.com works as well. For all of the Ylopo clients that are in here already, that are either interested in Firepoint or already on Firepoint, we're going to do, what is essentially going to be a training series for our clients. We're going to do a one-on-one training this Friday. Please sign up for that. And, in about a week or two, we're going to do a training for with Gabe Livia, who is an all-star Ylopo client who migrated from Follow Boss to Firepoint. And we're going to show you guys exactly what she's doing, why she made the move, what are her favorite features, and how it's all working out. So that is coming as well.
Can't wait. And continuing just to integrate and get deeper and deeper. Like we're loving what we've done in such a short amount of time and how quickly the teams are working. So I'm excited to really just take this even further.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Looking forward to hearing from those people who are interested. Thanks, Gabe, for the time, and we will talk again soon.
See you guys. Bye.